Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Will and welcome to my channel where I discuss all these credit card rewards. So go ahead and hit that little red subscribe button. So in one of my prior videos, someone was asking me if I could show them how I booked my vacation to Hawaii that I'm taking in about 4 or 5 weeks. So I thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys how that's done. I'm not actually using points for my vacation. I'm actually using straight cash because I had some pretty good deals that I could take advantage of. So I didn't want to use any points for it. But in this video, I will show you how to book that flight using points. And I thought this would just be a good exercise because this will essentially be the basic principles that you need to know when booking an awards flight, specifically if you're transferring your points out to a airline partner. If you're using something like the Chase Travel Portal, that's pretty straightforward. But when you're transferring your points out to an airline partner, that's where it gets a little bit more complex and much more difficult. But that is also usually where you find a lot more value. So let's go and jump into it. The first thing that I want to do is determine how many points I think it's going to take me to get to my destination. So in order to do this, I'm going to use awardhacker.com. Now, AwardHacker is a completely free service to use. I'm pretty sure it's a product of, I think it's, yes, uscreditcardguide.com. So pretty reputable website when it comes to credit cards. And this is just a great tool. So what AwardHacker does is that it will tell you how many points it will take you to reach your destination on various airline programs. So for our example here, we're gonna be flying from Atlanta to Honolulu. Then it's just gonna be a basic round trip on economy, but you could do something like one way, first class, and it'll pull those results for you if you want. So when you're looking at these results, we'll look at this first one here. It's Korean Air, and it's saying it's gonna take us 25,000 points in order to book that flight. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean we'll be flying on Korean Air. We're just gonna use the airline program in order to book our flight. Now, if you look over to the right of this result, you'll see that the points are transferable to Korean Air from only the Marriott Bonvoy program. So you definitely want to pay attention to that just to make sure that you're choosing the right airline program to meet the points that you're actually going to be using. Now, if you click on this down arrow to the right of that and then click on show routes, well, this is going to be very important because this actually shows you the airlines that you'll be flying when you're booking through this awards program. So for this Korean Air flight, it looks like we'll be flying on Delta for most of them. And yes, just Delta. The other two, Korean Air and Chinese Airlines, are only if you want to be routed through Tokyo or South Korea. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to do that when you're just trying to fly to Honolulu. Now, since Korean Air doesn't have a credit card partner anymore, I'm just going to skip this one for now. And we're going to go down to the third result, which is Air France. And that's going to cost us 30,000 points. And if you look to the right, they are partners with all of the major credit cards. So Chase, Amex, as well as Citi. And then when you look at their routes, it seems that Delta is going to be the best bet for me when I'm flying out of Atlanta. So now that we know that Delta is the airline that we're probably going to want to take, the next step is to find an actual award availability on Delta for the dates that we're trying to fly. So there are two different ways that you can find awards availability. There's a free yet slightly more complex, difficult way to do it. And there's a paid version, which is much simpler and the one that I usually recommend to people. But you can get away with using the free one depending on which airline that you're looking for. So let's go over the free one first. So the first thing that you need to determine is which airline alliance that the airline that you're trying to fly on is a part of. So in order to do this, you can just do a quick Google search. So just say for this instance, we'll be Googling Delta Airline Alliance, and it should come up with a list of results. There's like a Wikipedia page. And there's also a great little guide from Upgradedpoints.com, and I'll leave that link down below. But what this does is that it will list out all the airlines in the best way to find awards availability for that airline. So if you go down and look at this listing, it'll go down to, let's see, where's Delta at? Delta Airlines, there you go. So Delta Airlines is part of SkyTeam Alliance. And the best way to look up awards availability for SkyTeam is either going to be on Air France KLM website or Delta's website. So that's where we're going to go to. So I've already done a search for our flight. So I'm just going to say we're trying to get to Honolulu September 1st of 2019. And then we're going to stay there for a week. So when I did this search, I was unfortunately not able to find anything on the KLM website. So I'll leave that up. I'll make sure I have a screen up showing that I couldn't find anything. So it's most unfortunate. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to Delta's website and do the same search. Now, the problem with Delta's website is that they're not always the most accurate when it comes to awards availability. So you might see something that looks like it's available for an award, but when you try to call up to book your flight, it's not going to show up. So I have the dates here for Atlanta to Honolulu from Delta. And as you can see, what you want to look for is one of these that says lowest fare. And that's going to be your best chance for an awards availability seat. So the thing is now that we have our flight, you write all that flight information down. You see for Delta, if we were to book it through Delta, it would cost us 54,000 points instead of Air France's 30,000 points. So once you have like all the flight information that you think you want to take, call up Air France, confirm with them that they actually have awards availability, and then transfer your points to Air France to book the flight. You don't want to transfer your points until you confirm with the airline that the awards availability is there for you. And oftentimes, well, sometimes, depending on the airline, you can book without transferring your points. They'll just ask for you to make sure you have your points in your account at a certain time before the flight takes off. So that's pretty much it when it comes to, like I said, hard and complicated way. Now, what I want to show you now is how to book through another air alliance. So if you go back to Award Hacker, we're going to go down to Singapore Airlines, which is 35,000 points. And as you can see, they have transfer partners again with all three major credit cards. So we're going to look at the routes for that. And for this, it looks like the best routes for Atlanta to Honolulu is going to be on United Airlines. So we want to look for awards availability on United Airlines. Now we want to see, what's the best way to look for awards availability on United Airlines. So the best way, we go back to our Upgraded Points website, and they say that the best way to find awards availability is either using United's website or Aeroplan's website, which is Air Canada. So Air Canada, they have an Air Canada website and an Aeroplan website. So you can't do it on Air Canada website. You have to go to Aeroplan's website in order to look for this availability. So just keep that in mind. So I did these searches and I was able to find plenty of availability on both of these search engines. So again, what you'll want to do is call up Singapore Airlines and make sure, confirm that they have actual awards availability for you on one of these flights, and then book your flight. So same thing that you do with Air France. So yeah, so that's pretty much the hard way. I would say it's a little, I would say at least for me, when flying out of Atlanta, I do see more awards availability when flying on something like United or American Airlines. Delta, it's a little sketchy sometimes. They are very stingy when it comes to giving out awards availability seats to their partners. So it's not always, that easy with Delta, but your mileage may vary with that. But yeah, so that's that. Let's go ahead and discuss the easy, but not free way of finding awards availability. So the easier way to do this is using Expert Flyer. So this is a paid service, and I believe it's $10 per month. I'll leave it down here when I'm doing my editing, but I believe it's $10. And it's not like you have to sign a contract or an annual subscription or anything like that. You can literally just pay for a month's subscription, do what you need to do, and then cancel it for a few months until you do your next flight. So $10, relatively cheap, but it really does work a lot easier. It just pulls in all the information across all these airlines. So I've done the same searches that we were looking at before. So first here we have our actual search, what it looks like when we're doing our search. So you just put in your departing airport, your arriving airport, your dates. Now you want to definitely do like plus or 3 days, because you want to be flexible when you're booking awards flights. You don't want to have to just be committed to 1 day. And then you choose your airline. So you choose your airline, and once you choose your airline, it'll populate the different classes that you want to search for. So you can't just actually click all of them if you're really interested in seeing. And then I usually, for the results page, I'll have show tab results by date, or you can do it by on one screen, whatever you want. So do that search. It'll take a couple minutes. I'll come right back. And we're back with our results. So it does usually take a few minutes in order to actually look for this stuff. But for our first one, using Air France program, so we're looking for a Delta flight. I wasn't too successful finding a flight on September 1st, but I was able to find one on economy on September 2nd. And then on our trip back, instead of the 8th, I was able to find one on the 9th. So it all works out. Again, what you would do is confirm with Air France, call them up before you transfer your points or anything like that. Call them up, confirm they have the availability on these Delta flights. And then once they confirm, you can go ahead and do your transfer of your points. So same thing that we discussed earlier. Now, with the other one, on the Singapore Airlines Awards program. So we're going to be flying United Airlines on that. I was able to find way more availability when it comes to awards flights with that one. So no, again, you will call up Singapore Airlines, confirm that they have it, and book your flight. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much how you will search for awards availability flights. You know, again, use Award Hacker, and then you go through the process of finding actual availability using either the free way, like I said, sometimes very simple to use, or you can just use Expert Flyer for $10 a month. And of course, guys, this method is only necessary if the airline that you're going to be flying is different than the airline program that you're booking with. If those are the same, then you simply just got to transfer your points to the airline that you're going to be using and book it directly online. You don't have to go through all of this. It's just, you know, pretty straightforward. It's that. Now, as far as your hotel is concerned, that's just also pretty straightforward. I'm not going to really go into that. It's just a matter of finding the best value that you can, either paying with cash sometimes, transferring points directly to the hotel, or maybe even booking through a travel portal such as Chase, the Chase travel portal, where you can get, you know, a little boost back if you have one of the Sapphire cards. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. This is a very basic booking. There are more complex ones that you can do where, you know, it involves like a stopover. If you guys want to see something like that, I can definitely do that for you. I have tried booking that before. I haven't actually done a trip like that before, but I do plan on doing one pretty soon. So I was trying to look through that maybe a few weeks ago. So I can walk you through, guys, through how to do that as well. Just leave a comment down below if it's something that you want to see. And that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Please hit that like button if this helped you out. Share with friends, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.